spine, so that part of the spinal canal is open in various forms of severity. It can cause a whole range of different problems, both with the lower extremities and its function, to internal organs, such as the bladder and the bowel, that may not function normally. In Maddy's case, she was quite adversely affected with lower extremity dysfunction, requiring several surgeries to help her to ambulate. She can ambulate.
Madeline was born with club feet. She had some hip deformities on top of the original spinal deformity. She's had 27 surgeries, 9 bladder surgeries. She was 4 when she had hip surgery, and a week later that was followed by another hip surgery. I've been working with Maddy since she was about 8 or 9 years old. Seeing her transition from, through the years, it's been really, really neat to see what we call grow up. Here at Kapiolani, we have been able to really understand pediatrics, how to help children and families. And I think what makes us different from other hospitals is that we understand, for example, that a child has a life maybe it's going to school.
When I first started seeing Maddy, she was in the hospital. She had really bad back pain, which is what brought her into that hospital visit. And she was just a very pleasant, friendly girl, but her legs were all cattywampus, shifted to the side. Her back was kind of shifted off in the opposite direction. And because everything was so shifted, it made her biomechanics of walking, of squatting, of sitting, getting on the bed, all skewed. So we have to start from the beginning.
Madeline has made a huge amount of progress, I feel, and see, in physical therapy. And we definitely feel that the time spent here doing physical therapy has paid off and is a valuable investment for our time.
I'm really proud of the team that's here. They're well trained, well motivated, and they're focused on children. And that makes Kapiolani very unique in serving them and taking care of kids with spinal defect.
Maddy has so many special needs that there aren't a lot of children like her out there. Maddy is an ambassador in that she's able to articulate and explain to the parents as well as the child that this is a procedure that is not painful. It helps her to be as normal as possible, and I think doing that type of community service has just been really great.
When a little kid has to go through a procedure like getting a stone, they'll show you pictures and things like that, but it helps if you actually see one in person. So I'll show them how it works and that it doesn't hurt, it will help, and that they'll be okay.
They equate her as somebody closer to their age than
100% of every gift stays in Hawaii to help make miracles happen for our keiki.
So we made that video over a year ago, and at the time, when you say to a child who's been nominated to represent the state and go to Washington, D.C., especially from Hawaii, it's very, very far, they don't really know what that means, and it's just really hard. So we wanted to celebrate Maddy, and we're going to do a little flashback and look at the year at a glance. I put together some pictures, and I'd love for, this is Mom Rita, and Lori, I thought it'd be fun if you guys could kind of share the past year and then just see what a champion does here in Hawaii. I'll start. The first one is, it's really about us being able to tell that story, and so we do things like direct mail and spreading the word, but the first thing I never have on a child is a picture, a really great picture that celebrates not being in the hospital, but just being healthy. And so what Maddy did was, on her first experiences, we had her with a photo shoot with an international photographer that does swimsuit models, and we took her to her favorite place, which is a Marriott property, and we hung out at the pool and did a bunch of photos. IHOP Pancake Day is more than just media, but this was Maddy's one of her first opportunities, and she's not a big pancake fan.
Sure.
So next slide. Why don't you tell us about the hula?
They attempted to teach me how to hula, which was funny because I dance like I have 2 left feet. They had me cut a ribbon for an opening for Walmart, and those scissors are actually very heavy. If you have a very long hair, I recommend those instead of little ones. This was the Merry Monarch Parade, and that was a lot of fun. We got to meet a lot of new people, and that was just amazing. This was a thank you to all the Walmart employees that we just went one morning or a couple mornings and made them pancakes. And this is just me and a couple of patients at Piolani. And this is me and a couple, with a couple radio interviews that I've had. This is me and last year's Miss Hawaii, Jaylee, and more radio.
I'll just talk about this really quick, and you'll see a little bit later about Maddy's challenge. And I took that and took it into the schools, and Maddy and I, this is at Milani High School, and we challenged the people at the high school in their graphics class and their media class to take Children's Miracle Network and turn it into a cohesive campaign. And so what they came up with, you see on the bottom right-hand screen, is a huge poster of a gown. And the caption is, "What if you had to wear this to your prom night?" And Maddy, do you want to share a little bit about that?
That picture meant a lot to me and really stood out to me because as a freshman in high school, and being in the hospital so much, it's very likely that that could happen for someone who is wanting to go to prom but always having to deal with medical issues.
And then we also went into the middle school, and we tried to do a pilot program called Kids for Kids, or Keiki for Keiki. And every class had a bucket to raise money, and if they raised the most money, they got a pizza party with Miss Hawaii
and which was Jake Lee at the time, and in 3 weeks they raised $7,900, and Maddie was able to go and have the pizza party with all of the kids at the school.
This was the Ace Hardware lunch right before my trip, and that was a lot of fun. I got to cut a cake with my face on it, and that happened a couple times this year. That was really cool. And with more TV, and this is where I had to act, not really scared, but like you couldn't smile during this commercial. Really, like you had to act like a patient, which I was, and that was really cool because, like, it was a lot of fun.
I just want to say that CMN has raised the money to change the CAT scan room, and it used to just be very plain, very medical, very sterile, really scary for a little child to go into this loud machine that spins all around. And you can see in the picture, part of it, they've made it like an underwater aquarium. Yes. And they have bubbles on the ceiling, and it's just such a change.
They made it look a lot funner and a lot less scary for the little kids. And that actually, even kids my age, if you've never really had a CAT scan before, that could have been really, really scary. And even me, who has had multiple CTs before, that even made me feel better because it looked really cool.
Here's where I'm supposed to tell you that this year, while Maddy was being champion and being on TV and being on the radio and being interviewed, she was actually in the hospital 4 times, and she had a really major surgery. So this isn't just something that used to happen to her, and you know, at any time we could end up at this hospital. So what you do and raise money is really important.
This was the Miss Hawaii pageant. Me, my older sister, and my cousins and aunt, and my mom got to go, and that was a lot of fun. We got to give Lauren the Children's Miracle Network Award and cheer her on through her contest, and it was just amazing.
Just really quick to add, it meant so much to me to have Maddy come on stage. I was able to work with her a lot throughout my year as I was preparing for Miss Hawaii, and really able to do a lot of events with her. And so it meant so much. I was able to see her standing there on stage. She looked so beautiful, and to have her up there meant so much to me.
And this is when we landed in Orlando. As soon as you got off the plane, there was the lion and everybody that works with Children's Miracle Network and everything. And that was a lot of fun, just getting off the plane. From the get-go, it was fun. This is me with my sisters, and a couple of the champions, and Mark Wills, and David Ortoletta, during the Disney part of the trip. This is more Disney. This is me with a couple of the champions. Me and the champions from the different states have gotten really close in those times during Orlando and Washington, D.C., and it was just an amazing time. This is when we had the pin exchange, and people were lining up, and you had to give them pins and an autograph and things like that, which was very cool. And people actually wanted to get pictures with me and things like that. It was really, really cool. And this is me and every champion from each of the states. It was
She was the hit in with the pins. She said she saved one for David Archuleta.
You got the last one.
But again, we just wanted to thank you. I think so many times it's just about how much money did we raise, but I wanted to put a face to that and tell you you are truly touching the lives